TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Sevens Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay, Murtagh, Precast.
Good afternoon, everyone, and you're very welcome to home instead Lakepoint Park for the replay of the Intermediate Football Championship, the Shay Murtagh Intermediate Football Championship. I'm joined by the experts here, David Martin, former Maryland player, current manager of Milltown Pass, Buddha Mangan, Alan Mangan, former Westmeath great, and Tom Brown, who's the Manica's manager and former Maryland player. Lads, firstly, Alan, I'm going to come to you on yesterday. Disappointed, but probably the right decision.
Yeah, listen, it's I'm not too sure too many other referees in the county would have made that big call, so 10 minutes into a county final. But listen, I presume if you go back and look at it this morning and you look at the 11 minutes the were played, he was dead right. There was 8 or 9 rucks at that stage that took 20 to 30 seconds to get out of each ruck, and it was only going to be a farce of a game really. But to be fair to Loughlin Gales, they started really, really well, and they were on fire, to be fair to them, and we were probably just happy enough to get off the pitch and try and prepare for next weekend.
Good. The game, of course, is on your BTV next Saturday at 2 p.m, and of course anyone that did purchase that game yesterday will be entitled to get that game next weekend at no cost. Lads, we had an enthralling game the last day in stormy conditions. What way do we see this going today?
I think the last day, obviously, the conditions were horrific, really, for both sets of teams. But I thought both went out and gave it their all, and it was actually a really good game, entertaining game, the way it finished up. Today, very different. A little bit windy, bit of rain coming, but the pitch out there is in absolutely immaculate go and it should suit both teams to go out and play football, because both teams are two good footballing teams. So I expect another really, really good battle today.
Alan, there's no changes in either side, so we're on Cian McCarthy.
Cian McCarthy,
but he obviously started last week.
Yeah.
So pretty much as we were last week.
Yeah, and I think, listen, if you were looking at the game, I only watched it on television last week because we were obviously busy with our own preparation for the county final. But watching on telly, I thought that a draw was a fair result, especially in those conditions. It would have been terrible if someone walked away from a game like that, especially when it was so close, losing by a point or two. So, but listen, it was a very enthralling game. It was very tactical. Both sets of managers had their work done on each other, and it's going to be another tight affair today. A little bit breezy, but I think it's coming straight across the pitch. It's not really favouring anyone in particular. So listen, it's going to be another tight affair, and I think that it could come down to which sideline gets their calls the best and gets them right. And if that happens, maybe one decision, one way or the other, could end up deciding this game.
Tom, you weren't with us last week, of course. You were in Spain, Sun and yourself, but you did watch the game. What were your thoughts on the last day, briefly, and what's your thoughts on this game?
Well, just on the last day, I'd give them a pass because of the weather, but it was a poor performance from both sides, and they'll be looking to improve. But the one thing that I wouldn't give them a pass on is none of them had a target man inside. Ben McGurn from Milltown, he was coming out around the centre of the field, especially when they had the wind, instead of having the target man inside. They did let in one ball, they got a penalty out of, and Dara Hines scored it. I think Garrycastle missed the trick not playing James Sheeran at some stage earlier in the game last week. I also think that if Garrycastle are going to win today, they're going to need to bring James Sheeran on pretty early, or they're going to have to play James Dolan up there, because Garrycastle like to play that ball quickly into the full forward, and their runners coming off them. None of the teams really had that the last day. The Milltown team are a very, very balanced team. Garrycastle, we've been lauding them all year, to be honest. I've been lauding them all year, but I was very disappointed with them the last day. And I think Milltown, if they get their matchups right again and play with a little bit more depth, they'll be really, really good contenders for today's game.
Okay, on that we'll go across. Ray spoke to the managers before we came on air. We'll come back to the boys for a prediction, then we'll be going up to Ray later. But firstly, we're going to go to Pete Ballasty, the Milltown manager.
Joined here before today's game with Pete Ballasty, Milltown manager. Pete, how have preparations been since the drawing game?
Sure. Look, it's after going well. It was kind of a strange feeling there during the week. You know, it was a kind of maybe what you call nearly a little like a lull. But look, from Wednesday on there, you know, it's after improving a good bit now. We had a couple of training sessions, and look, everything hopefully is after taking shape in the last few days.
Yeah, you had a horrible week last week for the game. Conditions were horrendous. Probably the fairest result to come out to both sides back here again, have another good crack at it, and thankfully the day is a good bit better today.
Honest to God, yeah, no, that was horrendous there the last day, and it was terrible conditions for both teams. And we probably struggled a little bit more, maybe with younger players, you know, not as strong. Garrycastle maybe a little bit stronger than us in them, so maybe suited them a little bit better. But look, we're here, and thank God it's a better day, and hopefully we get a great game again.
And then of course you had the disruption again of being moved out of Cusick Park, but again, sure, lads got their head around that fairly quickly, and they're all good to go today.
Yeah, well there you are. You know, what's the point in going into Cusick Park and trying to play in, you know, conditions we all seen yesterday? You know, I feel sorry for the hurlers. That was an awful thing to happen, because even though we got through our match, imagine it being blown up at half time. So look, Lomans is a brilliant pitch, and fair play to them. You know, they're after getting it ready in short space of time, and we know what they're like here in St. Lomans. They're brilliant, and you know, fair play, and hopefully we get a good match.
Exactly, for our viewers as well as for the spectators coming here. That's Pete Ballasty, Milltown manager, here before today's Shay Intermediate Football Final Replay. We wish you the best of luck today, Pete.
Thanks very much, lad.
Joined here before today's game by one of the managers from Garrycastle, Carl Henson. Carl, you know, we're out replay. It's difficult, you know, to get their heads around it. But how have things gone since that drawing game?
Yeah, things have gone well. Lads have reacted well at training. You know, we understand the disappointment, no more than I'm sure Milltown feel, of not getting over the line the last day. At the same time, we understand how lucky we are to have a second shot at it. You know, we've been in finals in the past as senior where we didn't get a second bite at it, where we were beaten in games where we might have felt we could have and should have won. So yeah, the guys have reacted pretty well and are in good shape for today.
Yeah, conditions that Sunday were absolutely horrendous for football. I mean, it was a huge effort from both sides to put on the spectacle they did.
Yeah, it was atrocious, and to be honest, we don't know, did playing with the wind actually favour the team who had the wind? I mean, like, if you look at the scores, both teams probably played a little bit better against the wind than they did with the wind. You know, like, it was so hard to judge that, you know, the wind and you know, kicking in balls, or, you know, it was just a disaster.
We could see it even from the sideline. A short pass from 5 yards was difficult to get to hands, you know. So it was. Look, we have good conditions here today. You know, a little bit of an upset, I suppose, from yesterday with the game being moved out of Cusick Park. So, but I'm sure at this stage you're well accustomed to these players are experienced.
Yeah, I mean, like, the game being taken out of Cusick Park has obviously certain downsides, but at the same time, maybe some of the fanfare of going into Cusick Park might be taken out of today's game. It might be more, lads might see it as just another game of football when it's out here in Lomans, as opposed to the hype and what comes with Cusick Park, you know. So
well, look, at Carl, we'll let you go back and finish your warm with your side here. That's Carl Henson, the Garrycastle manager, here for today's Shay Murtagh Intermediate Football Final Replay.
Thanks, lads.
Very best of luck.
That was Carol Henson there, and previous to that with Pete Ballasty. Lads, predictions. We haven't got a whole lot of time. We're going over to Ray and Shane, but I'm going to start with you. David, I think you predicted Garrycastle last week. Have you changed your opinion? No?
Yeah, I did predict them last week because I felt the Garrycastle bench were quite strong to come in, but I actually didn't think their bench worked as well as it could have, where the Milltown bench worked really well, especially 2 Summers coming in, really, kind of got a grips around that middle of the field, that half-back line. Conditions very different. I would have said Milltown early days, and I'm actually going to go with Milltown today.
Right, change your mind.
I did.
Okay, Alan.
She's very quickly changed your mind. No, listen, I'm just looking at the Garrycastle team and both teams, and obviously both are full of very experienced players, but I think there's 12 lads starting for Garrycastle that have senior championship medals, and I think that might be just a little thing that's going to get them over the line in the end. But it's going to be another tight affair. Obviously the youthful side are Milltown, and they're probably younger and fitter and stuff like that, but nothing beats experience at this time of year, and especially in weather like it is today and stuff like that. You expect lads that have senior championship medals in their back pocket might push them across the line.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm finding it very hard to split them, to be quite honest with you. I kind of...
Don't say a draw.
I won't say a draw, but I kind of want Milltown to win it. But I just think that if Ben McGurn stays inside and they play with a little bit more... Conor Gibney there, he's well able to demand that football around the midfield and knock the ball into Ben McGurn. But I just think that Garrycastle will learn a lot from last week, and I don't think they kind of got the matchups right. I don't think they got their tactics right as regards their substitutions and that. I think they would have learned a lot from last week's game, and I'm going to go with Garrycastle.
Okay, so there you have it. That's our expert views. We're going to take a very quick break, and we're going up to Ray, and he's with Shane Donoghue.
Hello viewers, I'm joined here in the commentary position by Shane Donoghue. I don't think it's fair to say commentary box here, Shane, because we're out in the elements, the joys of doing live programming and live streaming. But look, it is a better day than we had the last day, which is fair to say, and it's going to be a far more even and balanced game, I would expect. Now, no blame on the conditions here today, because we're out here in St. Lomans. The pitch is in immaculate condition. There is a little bit of a breeze, but nothing overly major.
Yeah, there's a small bit of breeze coming up towards the town end or the road end. It's coming from the back end of the field, Ray. Yeah, conditions are good. We probably have the best view in the house up here on top of the press box, which is great. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see now how the teams settle after last week, and obviously conditions had a big bearing on last week's game. But I think both teams would feel that they've a lot of improvement to do on their performances last week.
Yeah, look, you couldn't fault anyone the last day, and it was horrendous conditions. The breeze, there was games in other parts of the country were called off because of the wind. So, there was no fault. I think this is fair that it ended in a draw, and we're back here again now with better conditions. Yes, okay, we're heading towards the first week in November, but conditions are absolutely pretty much perfect for football here today. Look, I'm going to go to the two teams here now for our viewers at home. So we have a minute, so we're going to start with the Milltown team, and they'll line out as follows. In goals, number 1, Alan Geraghty. The full back line, Sean Dillon is at 2, Bernard Kieran the full back at 3, and Diarmuid Maguire, he's the left cornerback wearing number 4. In the half back line, Pete Ballisley wears 5, Conor Gibney the centre half back is 6, and Conor Dillon at 7. Middle of the field, the Twin Towers, Jack and Dylan Murtagh. Jack wears 8, Dylan wearing 9. half-hour line, Nathan Dillon Kraz at 10, Dara Hines the centre half-hour at 11, and Jack Duncan at 12. And the inside line, Luke Gunning at 13, Ben McGorn at 14, and Matthew Gunning at 15. Garrycastle, their line now is Sean Brennan in goals. The full back line is Jack Mulvihill at 2, Jack Donoghue at 3, and Gary McCann at 4. The half back line, James Dolan at 5, Mark McCann at 6, and Matthew Gaheen is at 7. Middle of the field, Owen Mulvihill is at 8, and he's partnered by Andrew Monaghan at 9. In the half-hour line, Michael Monaghan at 10, Owen Monaghan at 11, and Jason Nugent at 12. And the inside line, Cathal Mannion at 13, Conor Cosgrove at 14, and number 28, Keane McCarthy, comes in place of number 15, Ben Dunnigan.
On behalf of the GA, we would like to remember people Sonny Fowle from the Clare, a legend in his own lifetime. Probably best remembered for standing on the crossbar to prevent a free being taken in a junior final of 1967.
Yeah, we're listening to the County Board Chairman Frank Maskell just making a few announcements here for today's game, but the most important one is that there's going to be a minute silence in memory of 3 people, 3 bereavements of family members affiliated with the Garrycastle GA club this weekend. All died in the last couple of days. Catherine Fallon, John Nolan and Tommy Fox, whose sons Robbie and Alan would have played at different stages on the senior teams of won championships with Garrycastle down through the years. They're uncles of Desi and Gary Dolan, and also of Garrycastle player James Dolan. So again, there will be a minute silence before that. There's also in memory of the late Sonny Farr from Tubberclare, who passed away recently. So our County Board Chairman Frank Maskell is just going through all those announcements. We're going to have a minute silence before today's game. The referee and his officials are down there. Alan Coyne, he's just blown the whistle for the minute silence to begin. We're going to have now our on the V. Formalities all out of the way. Shane, it's a nice setting today. There's a nice crowd over under the stand and along the terrace on the far side of the pitch. A nice crowd gathered down below us here as well, and we see people standing over under the canopy down behind the goals down on our left hand side. You know, a crowd that maybe wouldn't has created as good an atmosphere inside in Cusack Park. So great credit to St. Lomas providing facilities at such short notice for us here today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an unusual setting for a county final, but will make for a great atmosphere when you have the crowd so close to the sideline, Ray. You always feel kind of the pressure cooker there. You'll hear a voice, you'll see a face, whatever, early in the game. But once the game gets going, then... But yeah, I think the crowd and the setting is really going to add to this as a spectacle.
Yeah, I'm just looking across, Shane, over on the far side. I see John Gaffey is starting. And we just want to... Okay, I see... Yeah, just trying to pick out who's not starting, because James Dolan has gone inside into the inside line. You see anyone one way or the other. The referee has thrown the ball up, and it is Cian McCarthy. He did start here in the middle of the field. He did start the last day for Garrycastle. He's a big man trying to counteract the big man for Milltown. But Garrycastle with the first opportunity through Michael Monaghan, played down the line, and James Dolan heads up play at the very first instant, calls the mark. The pass hit into him. He's just seen where the mark is from. He's going to take this and suit the right-footed kicker. Again, gets the call and he comes forward. The referee is Alan Coyne. James hanging this one up in the air. It's not going to go to play. Dangerous ball, but it's dealt went well in there by the Milltown men, and they have the first chance to get the possession here now and to come down the field. Coming out from the corner forward is Luke Gunnan. Luke taking it away from his man. Good tackle coming in from behind Michael Monaghan. Certainly one hand got the ball, but I think he might have pushed Shane on the back with the other one.
Yeah, and Luke's after passing to his brother Matthew there with a quick free, but an interesting start. See James Dolan winning that race against young Sean Dillon. We pointed it out last week as probably an unusual matchup, but that young lad did very, very well on James Dolan last week. But Jimmy's had to get the first ball, and now Milltown are just trying to set up a bit of an attack with
Dara Hines forced to go back to his centre half back there as Conor Gibney excellent the last day as well, rocking the centre of that defence. And Ben McGorn, he's gone out a long way from the full forward position as well, but he's trying to just link in with the players. Gibney gets by a couple of Garrycastle men, needs a little bit of support, and he has it over there on the far side. Conor Dillon carries it inside, allowed to stay going, pops a little ball, he's gone for the return, and he's on the return, but I think Milltown supporters not too happy with that, but
yeah, fullback Bert Kieran found himself in a lovely spot on the edge of the D, and a well-worked ball into him. He just was adjudicated to throw it. I see that John Gaffey's after very much picking up a sweeping role once Milltown have possession. He's going to try and protect the top of the D, but in that case, Bernard Kieran found himself in a great position, probably just threw it away, Ray.
Yeah, Gaffey has gone down the field here over on the far side, on the right-hand side of the attack, and it's gone out over the sideline. He's going to have a line ball. I don't think he's going to take it himself. He's going to come back and give it to Andrew Monaghan. Monaghan looking around, making himself available his own Mulvihill. Owen pushed on the back there as he was about to gather the ball, so a free in, second chance of a shot. This time I think it's going to be one of the left-footed kickers, I think, coming out as a Conor Cosgrave that's coming out. He kicked the equalising point the last day. The last day was a game really, very hard to take anything from it coming into this one because of conditions. But Milltown scored 2 points to go 4 up 10 minutes into the second half. She took Garrycastle all their time to get them back. So Milltown will be hard to break down here as well. But this time it's fired in, and it's a great kick there by Conor Cosgrave, opening point of the game.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that now. I hear Carl Henson roaring to get a high press on this kick out. They really want to try and get this contested. They're man-on-man everywhere. Milltown will have to get a couple of lads breaking off at one or other of the Dillons or the Murtaghs in the middle of the field, ideally for them. But yeah, really good matchup here, Ray. There's a lot of man-to-man stuff going on at the moment, which is nice. It's going to help us as a spectacle.
Yeah, Alan Geraghty launched off and out. Cian McCarthy is there on the breaking ball there and wins it, and starts an attack there to give it on to Andrew Monaghan. Monaghan turns around and gives it back now to Matthew Gaheen. Matthew, fisted pass across here to where Gary McCann has come forward. Gary just felt the presence of a Milltown man just about to tackle him there and steps away from it and then gives it on to his brother Mark. Mark, the centre half back, just holds it up now. Garrycastle just settling into it, getting the touches here. Matthew Gaheen has it again. Matthew thought about going left, goes back, holds the possession, gives it on now to Jason Nugent. Jason sees a little bit of space. He's going to need a little bit of help. I think too many steps there is the call there. Referee, yeah, maybe a little bit finicky with it early doors, but he's right on top of things, not going to let anything.
Yeah, I think Garrycastle need to be a little bit more adventurous, Ray. They're playing this, and look, they're very accustomed to it, and they do play it, but Milltown have recognised if they squeeze them in the middle third of the pitch, they can afford to have 2 sweepers, which stops Garrycastle getting an inside ball early, which they would like to do. So they're going to have to mix it up. Last week when they ran down the middle of Milltown, they got a bit of joy. But this lateral stuff isn't paying any dividends at the moment.
Yeah, Dara Hines late is on the attack here for the Milltown men, and quick ball across here to Jack Duncan. Jack involved with Father Dalton's in the Senior B hurling on Saturday last, and ended up with 2 goals to his name, and he pops a nice ball on. Conor Dillon charging forward as well here. He's going to get the shot in, and he clips a lovely point there on the run. Nice patient play there from the Milltown men. They just waited. Dillon timed the run perfect, got on to a right foot over the bar. We're tied at 1.
Yeah, look, Conor Dillon's a real quality footballer, and he's had a couple of years inside with Desi Dolan and Co inside in the county, and it's definitely brought him on a lot. He's a very powerful runner, Ray, and accurate off both sides, so that'll be a tactic that they'll deploy quite a bit.
Yeah, good kick out from Sean Brennan straight into the middle from Matthew Gaheen, and Gaheen's giving it on there to Andrew Monaghan, but Andrew's attempting ball inside was blocked down, and the ball spins and just comes back for the Garrycastle man, and now Gary McCallan charging forward. Gary looks up, he has a spare player over on the far side there. John Gaffey picks it, moves it on straight away, straight at the feet of Owen Monaghan. Owen trying to come inside. Hull needs a little bit of support. In fact, it's Michael Monaghan it was, and the ball eventually clipped inside where Andrew Monaghan has it. Lays it off quickly here now. The ball worked out as far as Gaheen. Gaheen gets a signal to go to the left. There's a man over here. Said he just holds it up and gives it back to Andrew Monaghan. Monaghan pops it back now to Michael Monaghan, who sees that Gary McCallan has remained forward. McCallan gives the return pass here now, and quick hands here from the Garrycastle forwards here now. There's a chance now to get the shot in, and that one is fired in, but the first wide for the Garrycastle men. But again, a little bit more direct, a little bit slicker that time from Garrycastle.
Yeah, but they're still missing a bit of a punch, a run off the shoulder. We see Matthew Gaheen get on a lot of ball, Ray, but he doesn't make a lot of ground. He tends to get to a player, turn around and come back. And he also tends to bring it very much central, where you'd be hoping that they'd switch the play, but they need to get a punch off the shoulder. The only one that's doing it is Gary McCallan, but he's coming from way back and only getting as far as halfway. They have a big separation between their centre field and their two inside men.
Yeah. They've gone short of the kick out, Alan Geraghty, and he puts his side under pressure. Garrycastle not too happy with that. They thought they'd done a lot of hard work there to stop Milltown making the break there, but the foul was on the number 5 over there, Peter Ballasty. Peter gets back onto his feet. Alan Coyne is saying that it's going to be a free. Just looking inside, Shane, in the setup, only 2 players inside, 2 sets of players inside the 45 here now, that Milltown are attacking, but they have a chance now to come forward here, and a nice ball given inside by Dylan to Jack Murtagh. Jack has gone on forward, he doesn't get the pass, so it has to be come back out as far as Luke Gunnan. Luke pops it off again and takes the return pass. He's in a little bit of space here, maybe chance to come back in on his right foot, gives into his brother Matthew comes into the tackle. Keane McCarthy was there, as was Matthew Gaheen, but the foul committed, and it's going to be a free for Milltown. And a chance now again. Shane, we're up high here, but there is a breeze certainly up here. I don't know what way it's affecting down at pitch side, but whatever advantage is in it, I say, is with Garrycastle this opening half.
It will be a little bit. Look, Ray, it's interesting, different interpretations of the game. Alan Coyne is reffing it very differently than it was reffed last week, where there was quite a bit of physicality and, proper tackles going in. That for me was a little bit of a soft free, where Garrycastle had trapped a guy. I think it was Matthew Gunning. They had trapped him, they got 2 on it, and looked like a loose arm, split the ball out, but referee adjudicated it was a free, and it's been well put over, a good score.
Yeah, Ben McGowan with his first one. Nice settling form. We're just almost 10 minutes into this opening half as Sean Brennan fires this one out. Keane McCarthy goes high, gets a hand on it, and then he's able to pick up the breaking ball, and lazy tackle there as he spun around there. Free for the Garrycastlemen back in their own half-back line. Taken quickly here now, and Jack Mulvihill again just pops a little pass off. He goes forward, takes a man with him, and the ball is with Michael Monaghan, and he goes back across into the centre where the full-back is Jack Donoghue. Jack is on his own 45-metre line as he goes across to the far side as Garrycastle stretch the play from left to right now. Gaffey has it. Gaffey comes inside. Such an experienced man, just holds that ball, pops it back as far as Michael Monaghan. Monaghan looks up and sees that Gary McCallan just gives him a call here right out in the middle of the field. He's close to this side of the field. His cornerback partner is there beside him. That's Jack Mulvihill. Jack steps inside and back again with Michael Monaghan and across into the centre. Gaheen, he's been involved in a good bit of play so far. Andrew Monaghan, the latest, looking up to see what options are on inside. Just holding the ball, looking for somebody to make himself available. Nothing on, so he just holds on to it nice and casually, and then they work it across from that right side. They come back into the centre. Gaheen again, he thought about going in long with it, but then just holds it, pops it off to Michael Monaghan, who moves it across here to McCallan. Garrycastle prolonged period of possession here, but they're yet only just up as far as Milltown 45 now as Gaheen goes centre. Thought about taking the shot, then lays it off to Jimmy Dolan. Jimmy comes in, fouled as he was about to pull the trigger there, and a free for the Garrycastle man. Nice free, maybe 24-25 metre, but that was great patient play there, showing all their experience from Garrycastle.
Yeah, and I can see that Milltown learned a lot from their second half last week, Ray, where they set up a little bit like that against Garrycastle when Garrycastle had the win. So they're retreating everybody back inside their own half. They're keeping a kind of a zonal defence. They don't mind Garrycastle playing it around, but when you get a cutting angle run like that, like Jimmy Dolan did, there is a chance of this type of free being conceded.
Yeah,
I'd be happy that they're not giving them, shots from play or getting isolated inside 1-on-1.
2-2. Conor Crosby with the 2 points. Both coming from frees for the Garrycastle men, as Alan Geraghty now is on the 20-metre line. Very, very short run up, and Alan sticks the right boot through it. It's gone over the far side. Gaheen goes to ground, doesn't get the free. It looked like he touched it on the ground. Now, what's the referee? I think he's just allowing the play to go on there, because it looked initially that the Garrycastle man had handled it on the ground, but the free is taken quickly now, and there's a chance for Jack Duncan to get forward. He gives it inside to Dara Hines. Back to Duncan again. Had a look at the post, but then just pulls it back down. There was Hines forced to come back out again to have men across into the centre. But again, don't force anything, just hold the possession, work it back across into the centre for Conor Gibney now in the middle of the field, and again, nice and patient. Garrycastle just seemed to holding 2 men up front the whole time. So Milltown have possession over on that far side. Back with Conor Dillon now. Conor, he's back in his own half and he pops it inside to Matthew Gunning. He's the number 15, but he's out around the middle of the field here now. Conor Dillon is trying to get away from Jason Nugent. Nugent is pleading his cases, but the foul was on Dillon there as he was trying to break through there, seeing a little bit of space. But Conor Dillon is a great athlete, and he'll come forward and bomb forward all day here.
He will, Ray. And a great foot race between 2 speed merchants, one from either side there. And I suppose Jason Nugent will feel a little hard done by. He got the hand in behind and seemed to strip the ball, but obviously where Alan Coyne is standing, he sees a bit of contact on the other side and the free, but it's not in a dangerous area, and it's still Milltown have to set up an attack again. There's a lot of lateral stuff here. It's very cagey, cat and mouse, but a lot on the line as well, Ray, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they've broken the line over there on the far side, because Dylan Murtagh in towards the 20-metre line. He's on the loop around, but he runs into a heavy tackle there from Andrew Monaghan, and ball is eventually turned over. Good work there by the Garrycastle men, the defence there, and they do well to turn it over here now, and there's a chance to get out of that tight hole that they were in a few minutes ago, but they have it now with Jack Mulville. Jack allowed the ball to bounce, didn't come up, and just hit off the wet ground, skids out over the sideline. Probably the first mistake that young man has made in the game and a half, because he was excellent, absolutely. And then heads up play there from Michael Monaghan. He gets the possession back for his side, and now a chance for Nugent to turn and go for the Milltown goals. Isolated a little bit then, and he has to pop it back inside as far as Michael Monaghan. Monaghan inside now, and there's a chance for Owen Monaghan. Owen curls that one in and clips it off the inside of the post. Nice score there from the centre half forward, puts Garrycastle back into the lead. 3-2. That's a score that'll do Owen Monaghan the world of good. He was quiet the last day. He'll be relieved to get off the mark in this game now.
He will, and they're the opportunities Garrycastle are looking for. Pounce on a mistake. Young Jack Duncan, I don't know, it was Nathan Craig that took the sideline ball and just gave it away cheaply. And immediately Garrycastle recognised there was a chance to counter and not to slow it down, to try and force it, and he found himself top of the D and took the score very well.
Yeah, the kick out was one out in the middle there by Dara Hines, and he was held, he couldn't get away, so the free has been awarded. He was brought forward then as well, but all for nothing, because he turns around and kicks it back probably 25 yards as far as Conor Gibney. Gibney with that cultured left foot spreads it over to the far side. Is it going to stay and play it with, because Ben McGorn has it. He's under pressure close to that sideline, forced to come back out, but lovely ball inside, but it doesn't get its intended target, because good play again from Owen Monaghan involved there. Stepped in front of Gibney and gets the possession back, and now Gaheen sells a little dummy and goes forward. He has a teammate over on this side, but instead gives it into McCarthy. McCarthy with a man in space doesn't get the pass away. Instead he goes short as far as Andrew Monaghan. Monaghan looking up to see what's available, pops it on inside here now, and there's a chance for this ball to come inside. Jimmy Dolan's in there. Goalkeeper Alan Geraghty had read that situation. He was ready to to come out here and put pressure, but I think Jimmy Dolan just a little nudge in the back, but Alan Coyne just copped it, and a free out of Ward, and danger averted at the moment for Milltown, and they have the possession now, and they're coming out here, and nice ball played forward, because there's a man here, a lot of space here is Ben McGovern, and he gives a lovely ball forward here now, and a chance for Nathan Dillon to get on it. Nathan doesn't look like he wants to take the shot on himself, and why not? He just pops it off there to Dara Hines on the run beside him, and he pops it in and pops it over the bar.
Yeah, good score. Dara Hines again, very accurate footballer. He finds himself in a good spot. Ray clips it over, and look, Milltown will be very, very pleased with the start they've made to this game. 15 minutes in, halfway through the first half, it's 3 points apiece. And both teams that feel that they have the measure of each other, they're just waiting for that odd mistake, try and pounce on it. But they're very much a mirror of each other, how they're playing the game, Ray. So
yeah,
they will cancel themselves out a bit.
Yeah, Garrycastle have possession. They started on the left side, they've gone over now down the far side. Matthew Gaheen has it and gives it off to Nugent. Nugent gets away from one man, pops it inside as far as Michael Monaghan. Monaghan quickly pushing through the hands onto Jack McVeer, takes the return pass, sells a dummy and stays going. Again, nice play there, but again was running out of time. He was probably under pressure for steps there and fires it in, but fires it to the left and wide.
Yeah, a couple of wrong options there. He had the chance to offload a couple of guys on the loop around the shoulder. I think his brother was one of them coming around who just kicked a good score. Probably should have offloaded it. But Conor Gibney's after collecting a good kick out here and just threw an arm out after the tackle, and I think Alan Hines adjudicated that correctly. It's a hot ball, nothing more than that, no card warranted. It's just a little clumsy on Conor's part, but we know there's a little niggle in this raid. From last week, there was plenty of stuff off the ball, there was plenty of big hits, so nobody's offering an olive branch here today. They're going out.
No one taking a step back, Shane. Now they say.
No, well, Conor Gibney was probably the most influential player on the pitch last weekend, and Garrycastle know that, and see can they ruffle his feathers a little bit, and he's just at getting caught there with a little sloppy reaction after collecting a good kick out.
Yeah, Keane McCarthy is in there now under this throw-up ball, but Gibney, huge strength, and gets a hand on it, and then eventually coming in on the breaking ball there was the Milltown man, and they get the free out then and a chance now to relieve the pressure. And Matthew Gunning doing an awful lot of work back in his own half of the field. He's on this one again, carrying it forward, carries it towards the Garrycastle half, and then he just holds on to it, comes back into a little bit of space. He has a teammate over here on this side. Jack Duncan is available. Jack just as John Gaffey drops off, but then he allows a 2-on-1 opportunity here now because Luke Gunnan is combining now with Jack Duncan. Jack with a little bit of space in front of him. Can he keep going through? There's good tracking back there by the Garrycastle men, and they got the hand in it, and they do turn it over, and Jason Nugent moves it out, but doesn't go to hand there. A little bit ahead of Matthew Gaheen there, but Milltown step back in again, and Conor Dillon has a look up, comes across the field. There's two men in a heap, in inside on the 20-metre line. The referee is taking no action. I think he's just telling them to settle down because play is going on. He does know that it's going on. Nathan Dillon Craw, possession, and now it's back with Conor Dillon again. Heading across Garrycastle's 45. Will he fancy pulling the trigger here? Thought he was going to. Then he just, at the last second, gives it. That's Bernard Kieran, the full-back that's gone the whole way forward there. And he's coming back outside the 45 as Milltown trying to build again with Matthew Gunning. Matthew holds on to the ball. Tackled there by Jack Mulveen. He's gone away from Jack momentarily. Gives it inside here now where Diarmuid Maguire is involved. And then off as far as Ben McGovern. McGovern across to Gibney again. Gibney down the far side it goes. Jason Nugent beaten to it this time. Then push on the back there on the number 8 there, Jack Murtagh, as Murtagh was going down on the ball, and a free in awarded, free just out about 25 metres or so out from the Garrycastle goal over on the far side. We see Ben McGovern is making his way over to kick it. 3 apiece, Shane, 18 and a half, almost 19 minutes gone on the clock. Still very little between these sides, up and down, both happy to hold possession and try and pick the pass and try and pick the opportune time to get the shot away.
Yeah, and they've both been particularly accurate, I guess, in keeping the ball and moving around, so it gets frustrating for the defending team now. I think Garrycastle have upped their intensity from where they were last week. They've stripped a couple of balls, but Milltown worked hard to get them back. But again, both sides, like I said, are mirroring each other with this kind of cat and mouse type of setup and move the ball around and looking to poke that little hole. We need Conor Dillon to come off the shoulder for Milltown a little bit more. Jack Duncan had a chance there, but look, a brilliant tackle by Jason Nugent that got the hand in over the shoulder and stripped him as he was getting ready to shoot. But yeah, it's very good so far. I think both sides will be fairly okay with where they are at the minute.
Yeah, the free there taken by Ben McGowan had gone out over the end line and wide, and from the kick out, Gary McCannon looked like he was favoured to win it, but Dara Hines, the great work there, and got possession back. And now Conor Dillon is here with possession here. He's about to take on Gary McCannon. Goes inside, great pace from the wing back. He's still going to the 20-metre line. Now he's going to have to try and get a little bit of support to get the shot on. He does eventually get support from Luke Cullen, but Luke, a lot of good work wasted there, because Conor Dillon maybe should have just pulled the trigger himself here, but let's see now, because it's a great opportunity now for Andrew Monaghan. His own has found it with a pass in a little bit of space, carrying it forward. Keane McCarthy has come forward here in a lot of pace. The ball hits the ground. Can he keep it in play? He's going to be close to the sideline. He's the big man, very, very close to the sideline. And in fact, great tracking back there by the Milltown men, and they have possession here now. Tackles going in there again. Dylan Murtagh does very, very well for his side there, and he gets to move it on here now to Nathan Dylan Pratt. Pratt fouls as he's trying to get the pass away. Ball is in the hand of Jack Murtagh. Takes the free quickly. We're starting to liven up here now. Jack Murtagh gives it short here. A nice work here, because Dylan Pratt has drifted forward into a little bit of space here. Giving here now to Dara Hines. Hines about to take on Mark McCallan. McCallan trying to force him over it. Still Hines holds on to it, comes back inside, needs a runner. Jack Duncan did make himself available, but he couldn't find him. Gives it back inside here now, where the corner back there with Maguire is the latest man to come onto it. Now it's the wing back Peter Ballasy. It goes across to the left. Now eventually the shot does come in. It's a dangerous one to have the great score there. I'm just saying that ball was dropping in, didn't know whether it had the distance or not, but he kept his eye on it all the way in there. Over the bar, lovely kick there. It was Jack Murtagh that finished it.
Jack Murtagh is probably the most improved intermediate footballer in the county this year, Ray. He's really stood up. He's probably in his mid-20s at this stage, and he's beginning to show a little bit of dominance in games like that, particularly with his shooting. He's on the scoreboard, I think, in every game that Milltown played in the championship this year.
Yeah, 4-3, and Garrycastle trying to respond here. Jimmy Dolan has a little bit too much space for the Milltown men's liking here now, to give it on here now to Conor Cosgrove. Cosgrove fires that one in, and is it inside the upright? I think the umpire had a good look at it. He was nice and close, but Cosgrove just got it inside the upright, and we're tied at 4 again. But certainly Conor Cosgrove, a couple of scores already today, and he seems to be, rightly up for this game now.
He is, yeah. Look, it's the pace is lifting up a little bit, and of course with that there can be a little bit of sloppiness, and from our perspective, when there is a little bit of sloppiness in the game, it gets a little bit more exciting, because the balls are being turned over, there's more people involved in it. But yeah, Conor Cosgrove, I think, is 3 on the board already, Ray. 2 frees, and that one he's had to clip it nicely from an acute enough angle for his left foot.
Yeah, from the kick out was Owen Mulvihill had put a lot of pressure on the Milltown man there, and it looked like he was going to get a turnover, but the referee said he fouled it, and nice ball played through there, looking for Ben McGowan on the run, but Jack Donoghue tracked the run the whole way. The ball bounced, and Donoghue just stuck a fist to it, puts it out of the danger area. For now, it's gone out over the end line. It's going to be a 45.
Yeah, fullback's job is always make sure the full forward doesn't get his hands on it. Jack did the right thing. He probably won the foot race because he was 2 yards behind Ben when he started, but just cleared the danger. That's the most important thing when you're fullback and you're isolated in there. Yes. Conor Dillon definitely has the yardage from a 45 Ray. I've seen him, and he puts a lot of effort into practicing them, so he'd be very hopeful with this chance.
Right footed, he comes forward. Good height in it. It's just drifted. I think maybe to the left, but it might be still in there, but square ball. But again, good defending there. John Gaffey didn't go contesting the ball, just stayed in on the post there, and the ball did drop nicely into him if the referee's whistle hadn't gone there. So you see the experience of Gaffey there, but the free is taken. They've already got it underway here. Matthew Gaheen has a chance to come forward. Just pops it off quickly as far as Mark McCallan. McCallan to McCarthy. McCarthy as Gaffey has come forward here from the right side to the left side. What a servant he's been for Garrycastle down through the years. Lays it off here now to Jack Mulvihill. Jack pops it back to McCarthy again, and McCarthy will go inside to Matthew Goheen. Goheen has a couple of options over laterally, but just holds that possession now, and they work it back across to the left for the chance here to get a man spare over close to this side, and Keane McCarthy just carries it forward. Gaffey is there if he needs him, but just holds that possession. Back in it goes as far as Mark McCallan. McCallan on now to the midfielder Andrew Monaghan. Monaghan sees that no one comes towards him, and then uses Keane McCarthy as a dummy runner, and then he comes in and hits in a dangerous ball. Nugent is in under the ball. It breaks away from the goalie, but again Conor Cosgrove unable to get the touch on him. Then Milltown defenders not to have Conor Gibney is absolutely
Yeah, it was dangerous ball in around the square. I think Alan Garrity showed a bit of guts coming out for it. He did take a clatter. Had Cosgrove gathered it the first time, he would have had a chance to turn and pop it over, but he's certainly a very kickable free here now, Ray.
Yeah, the ball just kept going away from him. He couldn't get the control on it, but he eventually has it now in his hand right in front of the post. Kicks it high. He kicks it accurately, more importantly. And 4 of the 5 points of the game so far for Garrycastle have come from the left boot of their number 14, Conor Cosgrove. They're back in the lead 5 points to 4 with just over 25 minutes gone on the clock. Alan Garrity back down here on the goals on our left hand side, right footed, hits the space over this side. There's a foot race here. Great jumping in, great contesting between Dylan Murtagh there and Owen Mulvihill, but it is the Milltown man again, and then great reading of the situation there with a very experienced Mark McCann. He steps in. Now Garrycastle's trying to come more into the game. Keane McCarthy comes forward, trying to thread the ball through. He was looking for Owen Monaghan there, but tracking there by Peter Barassi, and he did well, gets a hand in and gets the possession back here now for the Milltown men, and they're on the move now with Jack Murtagh. Jack has Conor Gibney beside him. Gibney comes inside, and with that leisurely left boot, and he lets it down here, but again good work there on the one-on-one there by Jack Donoghue, and Jack gets in front of Ben McGorn, dispossessed him, slides it back to his goalkeeper Sean Brennan, and sets up an attack down the right hand side where Matthew Goheen seems to have switched sides with John Gaffey, and they go now down that far side. Jack Mulvihill is over that side of the field now, gives it back to Goheen as well, steps away from one tackle, pops it back as far as Owen Mulvihill, who moves it quickly in as far as Michael Monaghan. Spare player down this side if Keane McCarthy wants to use him. It's John Gaffey again. Gaffey very, very close to the sideline. Jesse Nugent made himself available. Instead he just pops it into Owen Monaghan. Monaghan comes into the tackle, holds the ball, gives it back to Michael Monaghan. Michael back to Owen again. Owen looks up. He got the other score, and he tries to fire it in, trying to find Conor Cosgrove on the run there. Wasteful ball out over the end line. Kick out for Alan Garrity. Just almost 27 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, Ray, both sides a little guilty of poor kick passing, but at least they're trying it. I like to see that. I think Garrycastle are a little bit too slow to try and kick that ball in. They're getting some isolations inside, but guys around the middle are playing with the head down. They're not spotting it early enough. And in fairness, Milltown are trying it when they get Ben McGurn and Jack Donoghue one-on-one, but Jack is coming out to better that battle at the moment. Yeah,
Dylan Murtagh has possession here now. Milltown have 2 men coming over on that left-hand side. Jack Duncan is one of them. Uses the runner as a decoy and just holds the possession, pops it inside. Good play there by Dara Hines, but has to go back over to the side, and it's a little bit static again as Matthew Gunning has the possession. Matthew being fouled there as he was trying to get away from his man. I think is that Matthew Goheen is the guilty man there. Free taken and taken quickly in the corner back. Dermot Maguire is coming forward. Gives inside again, tracking back there by Owen Monaghan, but just pulled the man back. And an opportunity now for Milltown to get back on level terms.
Yeah, probably wasn't necessary, although the bull, as he's fondly known as, Dermot Maguire over in Milltown, Dermot is quite an accurate footballer. He can be deployed as a cornerback, but as you can see, he can play football up the pitch as well. And I just don't know, was he ready to pull the trigger? But this is a much more scoreable kick now when it's a dead ball and no pressure.
Jack Duncan going to kick it out of his hand with his left foot. Again, it's very central. He's probably 27, 28 metres or so out. Certainly an opportunity that needs to be taken if Milltown are going to annex this championship for 2024. Jack fires it in, sets it in high. Has he drawn it inside the upright? Yes, he has. Umpire keeps us in suspense, but I'd say even Jack Duncan's heart was in his mouth there for a second. I'd say that kick went higher than he was hoping for initially. But most important is between the uprights, and we're tied now at 28 and a half minutes on the clock. Sean Brennan, this time right-footed, launches it out there, batted down the middle of the field, but it's the Garrycastle men that are on the breaking ball, and the ball is moved across in here now to Owen Monaghan. Owen just holds it up, pops it on now as far as Andrew Monaghan. Monaghan carrying it forward. Look, sees a little gap, then close on him straight away then, and he has to hold the possession, gives it over there to Keane McCarthy, but Andrew is over there to take it back again, and then with the left foot, with 1 minute of additional time is the call here as Garrycastle try to get a score in this final 2 minutes or so of the half. The ball is with Jack Mulveal. Jack doesn't go forward anymore, instead gets a call from Mark McCallan to come back to me. Now Jimmy Dolan, who's been very, very quiet so far in this opening half, has come out from the corner forward position where he started, trying to get a little bit of possession. Matthew Gaheen is there now. Back across here now to Andrew Monaghan. Andrew then decides to back himself. High kick, umpire is looking up at it. This time his signal's just gone to the left and wide.
Yeah, towering kick by Andrew Monaghan, just dragged it to the left a little bit, Ray, but that's because there's a lack of option inside. They're too slow in looking inside, first of all, where there is isolation, and then you're forcing Jimmy Dolan and Cosgrove and those inside players to come out on the loop to try and get a ball 45, 50 yards out. They need to be a little bit more direct.
Yeah, from that kick out, it was well gathered there by Matthew Gaheen, who called the mark, and we're already starting off here now, and Jack Mulveal has come forward. Jack tugged back as Owen Mulveal came in to take the pass away from him, but free awarded, and Garrycastle, as we enter into the first 15 seconds of the additional minute, with Owen Mulveal carrying it forward. Again, John Gaffey is involved there now. He's on the ball. John is going to fancy a shot at goal here himself, but a little bit hurriedly there. That one just went on the breeze as such, coming across and just out over the end line, and two wides in quick succession from Garrycastle. We're into the last 25 seconds or so, Shane. Nothing between these sides again. Game and a half. There's still nothing between them. 5 points apiece.
No, and I would say John Gaffey's game awareness, realising there's only a couple of seconds left in the half. It was a bit of a pot shot, dragged it left as well, but it was worth getting the shot off, considering that we've only a minute of additional time and it's nearly run out.
Yeah, in fact it has run out, because the referee just on cue looked at the watch and then blows the half-time whistle. So with a large crowd here in St. Lomans, Homestead, Lakepoint Park, we are at the half of the Shay Murtagh Intermediate Football Final replay. Nothing between the sides, 5 points apiece. No real flow in football, no goal scoring chances as such in that open half. It has been cagey, Shane, but you know, it's tense, it's exciting, and very much up in the air yet.
Yeah, very, very balanced. Two sides really mirror each other very well, Ray, as we said already. I think Garrycastle a little bit slow in lifting the head. Matthew Gaheen, particularly for me, gets a lot of ball in good places, but doesn't get the head up to look inside. 3 or 4 times they've had a row of 4 players coming out from the Milltown goal, all standing one-on-one when Garrycastle are on their half-back line coming towards midfield, and they have not put it in there. Whereas Milltown have recognised where they get over the top, and Ben McGurn is isolated inside. Now, we say Jack O'Donoghue is getting the better of that battle. Unfortunately for me, some stats man is going to go into a dressing room now and declare that we've kicked away X amount of balls, stop doing it, and it's going to, whereas in fact they haven't cost scores by kicking them. They're actually being adventurous, and hopefully I'm wrong, but that tends to be what happens, that the game changes based on somebody's interpretation of statistics.
You were looking anyway with that, Shane. We're going to take a break here on commentary. We draw a breath here up in we're certainly in the crow's nest here today. Look, for our viewers at home, we're going to take an ad break. We'll be back with analysis with some of the lads in a couple of minutes.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners, a local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay, Murtagh, Precast.
And you're welcome back to the intermediate final replay, the Shay Murtagh intermediate final replay. And lads, fair to say it's a cagey enough game.
It is
low scoring, but entertaining.
But entertaining, yeah. It's like I suppose both teams are very cagey is the word, but they're afraid to make a mistake nearly at times. You know, there's a lot of over and back in around that half forward line, that midfield section even, and it's just, you know, it's like they're afraid to commit in case it's turned over and next thing they're caught. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Alan, is it fair to say that Milltown are probably slightly the better team, but not on the scoreboard?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Garrycastle are very over-reliant on Conor Cosgrove. He's 4 out of 5 points scored, and in fairness, he looks like the only dangerous forward up there, and he's probably the oldest man in that forward line. But in saying that, I think Milltown were. It's like David was saying here. They're nearly afraid to commit. There was 3 or 4 times that there was men in over the top. They could have just have a go and see what's going. It's like a game of chess here. It's over and back, and it's not one for the neutral now to be coming and saying it's an epic spectacle or anything like that. But at the same time, there's a few good parts to it. Jack Mulvihill or Jack Duncan is a shining light out there. Anytime he gets on the ball, he's trying to create something. I think as Tom Brown was saying earlier on, if they're not leaving Ben McGurran inside, he's coming out and sort of playing roving bit. I think they're going to have to leave him in there and see can they get enough ball into his hands, because he's really good, really accurate. He's probably relying a bit on his strength and his size more than his pace. But at the same time, if they can get enough ball through his hands, he can be very dangerous.
Now, in fairness to Jack Donoghue, he's getting the better of Ben in there at the moment.
But Jack Donoghue,
a couple of balls that did go into space, like.
Yeah, Jack Donoghue's season campaigner. Like, if you were picking a panel for Westmeath tomorrow morning, Jack Donoghue would be on it. There'd be no doubt about it. And I'm sure Damien McCabe knows all about him through Martin. Martin obviously managed him with Jack on the team, managed Garrycastle with Jack in the team. So Dermot would know who he is. But he's a season campaigner, knows what to do. I think Garrycastle obviously started with
John
Gaffey playing a wing back, and to me, if I was in charge of Garrycastle, I would have left him till the end. Use that bit of experience, a bit of strength, and he'll have a go anyway. And as he did at the very end there, the first half, he had a go, and that's what this game needs. It needs someone to take it by the scruff of the neck and have a go.
Tom, looking at the Milltown offensively, they seem to be getting into the half forward line, but coming back round then. There seems to be an awful lot of space inside and nothing going in there.
Yeah, they've a lot of space inside because there's nobody in there. If you look at the kickouts from Milltown, when they win the ball, there's absolutely no forward within the 50-yard line. If you have the likes of Jack Murtagh and Dylan Murtagh in the middle of the field, let them go up, catch the ball, turn, quick ball inside to Ben McGurran. That's not happening. There is a way for them to win it, is if they run the ball a little bit more, as you said, breaking that line and have somebody inside then to knock a ball into and get the return and kick it over the bar. It is a tight affair. It's very, very good atmosphere here, boys. It's so tight. Everyone's so close to the pitch. You can feel it's a tense battle. I'd slightly disagree with the boys in the sense that I think Garrycastle have got their kind of tactics right. They're playing against the breeze there. They're keeping a little bit of depth inside. They're moving the ball. They're just not connecting with those passes. Is right. Milltown, though, on the other hand, if they can just get somebody to stay in the full forward line and have a little bit of depth, they have in some cases they're Conor McGivney, when Garrycastle were going forward, he was doing nothing. I would like to get him on the ball a little bit more, push him up a little bit, and use his half-forward line. Like that, Jack Duncan, Darragh Hines, and Nathan, they're very good half-forward. Get them on the ball and link the ball then inside. If Milltown are going to win it, they're going to need to step on the gas a little bit instead of this lateral passing. They're just going to need to go for it a little bit more. I do think Garrycastle, though, will be very happy to have time playing against a little bit of a breeze. They got a couple of nice scores there. I would still be fancying Garrycastle just to nip it, but if Milltown want to win this championship, they're going to have to sort out and go for it, yes.
Yeah, there seems to be, I'd say, like, as Tom said there, that Garrycastle would be happier probably at half-time because they'll be more economical with their attacks, you know what I mean, having not been on as much possession probably as Milltown.
No, there's no doubt. I'd say Milltown probably had 60% possession there in that half. I'm not too sure about Tom saying that it was that Garrycastle have the win in the second half. I would say that it's slightly favouring Milltown going into the second half more than anyone else, especially with mostly right-footed players. It's a nice little win for right-footed players going down into the dressing room end. But in saying that, there's no doubt that Milltown can win this, but they're going to have to just go for it now. They have to use their youth and their like inexperience is bad in one way, but it's really good in other ways where you can just go and have a go and not really care about it. The more experienced lads in the Garrycastle are going to be sitting there wondering, Jesus, if we don't win this, when's the next time that we're going to get a chance to get back up and play senior? Because who knows, like we all know, we've all played, the three of us here have all played intermediate football. If you don't go down and back up straight away, it's a minefield down there and anyone could end up winning it.
David, it's what way do you see, what do the winner of this game need to do?
Just on the Milltown side of things, I think Tom is right, and you can go to, they need a focal point in that full forward line. They're coming up the field, they're doing really well. Darragh Hines getting on a load of ball. He's clever when he's on the ball, but when they look inside, there's nothing. You know, and they're either going to go for a point from 40 yards out, they're not going to take that chance. Where just if it's McGurn or it could be anybody else, Jack Duncan, somebody to get them in there, have a bit of a target that he stays in there. In fairness to Garrycastle, Jimmy Dolan's not coming out, Conor Crosgrove is not coming out. They're staying in there the whole time. I think whoever...
The quality of ball probably into them isn't the best.
Isn't the best either, but then you'll find the Garrycastle, as I said to you there at one stage, but there was a couple of long balls on for Garrycastle there, and the guy took a couple of solos. He looked left or right rather than looking in. And Lomond's pitch it's in super nick out there, and it's a perfect pitch, loads of space for that quick ball into a guy inside.
The unfortunate part of the way the football has gone is lads are afraid to kick the ball away. That's the way football has gone now with a lot of teams. And maybe it's that vital to have possession that you need to try and keep it for as long as possible. But like at one stage there, the two midfielders and the half-backs were hand-passing over back, and Garrycastle had 2-on-2 inside. Now, James Dolan is quick enough to get out in front of most people. I would be just pumping into space and let him get onto it and win it and try and get runners off him. But at the same time, the other thing I'd say is that Conor Dillon could have a major say in this game. He's after making 2 or 3 really good bursts, probing runs, exactly, and if they can get enough ball through his hands, they could win this.
And Jason Nugent is on him, and Jason probably defensively wouldn't be the best, and he has not suffered, but he struggled a couple of times following. Conor got that first point we just talked about here, nice bit of width, went at them down the middle. They're not going to get through.
But that's the thing, the way football has gone, like if you're a forward, you dread to mark Conor Dillon because all he wants to do is go forward. And we're not the best defenders as forwards.
Quickly, one word, lads. Are you any change in your mind? On your predictions?
I'm not anyway, but a goal in this game is going to be very, very vital. Maybe getting if Milltown get a couple of points up, they're defensively structured very well. If they can get a couple of points up, use that confidence from last week. I'm going to stick with Garrycastle, though. I think they will have the experience.
I'm going to say that if Milltown get enough ball through Conor Dillon's hands, they'll win this match.
They'll win the game. That's it, lads. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to go back to Ray and Shane, of course, up in the Crow's Nest, and we'll be back to you after the quick break.
Shane, stat half time, 5 points to 1. Garrycastle won
that they won't like having. They've been 5 wide for Garrycastle on the solitary wide. The strength of the breeze a fact in that?
Yeah, well, the last 2 shots were pot shots, Monaghan and Gaffey kind of running down when the clock was running late into it. But yeah, a little bit of inaccuracy like that they wouldn't like. We see a sub being announced here. We'll pick out which team it's on in a moment.
Does well for the Garrycastle men, and they work it out and they have possession first. Real chance to get into the Milltown half of the pitch here now. They're coming forward. Ball delivered in long. Owen Monaghan is inside. Monaghan has gone around his man. Chance maybe to pull the trigger, then pops it inside. But again, great defending there by Andrew and by the Milltown defence there. Maybe one pass too many there, Shane.
Yeah, but at least they did make the effort to deliver that quick ball, and Monaghan probably should have offloaded Jimmy Dolan off his shoulder first time. Then a great tackle by Conor Dillon coming in, turned it over, and now Milltown will try and set it up again, Ray.
Yeah, Thomas Lind is back there in his own half-back line, and Ben McGorn is back there as well, helping him, but it's a little bit tight in there, but they do get it on now to Matthew Gunning, and over it goes as far as Sean Dillon, and Sean breaks the line then and sees that he has Dylan Murtagh in a little bit of space here as Murtagh carries the forward. He fires that ball across. Not the best one in the world, but Gaffey, I thought he was beaten in the air for that one, but he does very well, and then has to give the ball away for fear for touching it on the ground. And Milltown have the possession again. There's still an opportunity here. Dara Hines thought about taking the shot first of all, and then does hit it with the left foot. It's hanging in the air with Sean Brennan. Safe hands there, nice and cool and collected there as he came out and gathered that ball and sets up Garrycastle on an attack again here. They're coming down right in front of us here as we stand on the side of the pitch here. As Mark McCallan. Mark gave the signal. He's fired it in. First time in as far as Owen Monaghan. Owen does well not to touch it on the ground and tries to get away from Diarmuid Maguire. Good strength there from the number 11. And he was fouled there. Good call as the push came in on him after that then as well. But again, ball kicking in a little bit quicker, Shane. You felt that Garrycastle have had opportunities throughout the game to get the ball into that danger area a bit quicker. That time the kick coming in from 50 yards or so, and Monaghan got him in space and they've got the free from it.
Yeah, now a very, very difficult kick considering the way the breeze is coming from that far corner. But Cosgrove is a fine striker of the ball, Ray.
Oh, the wind just took it.
Yeah. But yeah, certainly Garrycastle spotted something in the first half and changed. You know, Diarmuid Maguire, the bull, was playing up the field quite a bit, and they decided that they'd put Owen Monaghan in inside and keep Maguire. And it's a bit of a mismatch in terms of size. So they're trying to isolate that in there. And he's won the first 2 balls gone in, and now a poor kick out by Milltown. The pressure will be piled on by Garrycastle here.
Oh yeah, no doubt a mistake there. The ball came in from the line ball from Jack Donovan, and handling error there, but again Matthew Gaheen does very well to step in front of Jack Duncan and win that one as well. And Owen Mulvihill now has it on. Another player involved with the county football panel this year as well, showing all that experience. Pops it back now as far as Conor Cosgrove. Conor with the left foot, it's hanging in the air. Jimmy Dolan's trying to come out and get on him. Gibney goes high, ball breaks away from it. It's picked up there by Matthew Gunning, and Matthew pulled to the ground, wins the free for his side. Free it back inside in their own 20-metre line. They've taken it short and they work it across to the right and then back to the left here, where Gibney has a little bit of time now, and he just pops the pass off now, and a chance now for Milltown to come forward. Go short, back as far as Luke Gunn, and Luke carries across into the centre where Dara Hines has a little bit of space, you know, looking up, and pops it over to the far side. There's a chance now for Conor Dillon. Dillon, with no one closing him down immediately, gets inside the 45. Is he going to back himself and fire this one in. He does indeed that with the right foot, and he fires it in, but I knew from the reaction of the crowd on the far side, Shane, it wasn't on target.
Yeah, but he's really a dangerous individual when he gets a bit of space and he gets a chance to carry the ball. Covers the ground so quickly, Ray, and he's strong. Like, he can ride a tackle. And like that, there was a shot on. I think he was right to take it. Milltown been a little sloppy for the first couple of minutes of this half, and indeed Garrycastle at times too. But I think the intensity on both sides has picked up. They're kind of this third quarter press that a lot of teams talk about, is who's going to come out on the top of that.
Yeah, Garrycastle have worked the kick out and eventually get it across from the left side over to the right here where Matthew Gaheen is on it, and then ball fired in by Andrew Monaghan. Owen Monaghan trying to get more into the game here, trying to get round his man here, does well, and good defending there by the Milltown man to get forced to come back as far as Cosgrove. Cosgrove thought about on the left foot the first time, but eventually with no other option he does pull the trigger. But again, 7-2 I think tally of wides now, but Garrycastle just getting a little bit more possession. We see a change coming in here. Rory McGowan, he was introduced in the drawing game. We'll see who's going to make their way off. It's Cian McCarthy. So Rory McGowan is going to drop back in. One player only inside the Milltown 45 end of the pitch. Cian McCarthy, young man involved in the hurling final as well on Saturday. Didn't come out on the right side of that one. Will be hoping to get a medal here today. The kick out, Rory McGowan is going to be involved in the play here straight away. Little nudge there in the back of Dylan Murtagh there as they're on the race to the ball. Murtagh went to ground maybe as much with a slip as the push, because there didn't seem to be a lot of contact, but made an easy decision for the referee there, and the ball is in the hand of Bernard Kieran here now. Bernard halfway between 45 and 65 goes short, goes to Murtagh. McGowan is in again. Second foul in quick succession here. We're right in front of it, Shane. Not a whole pile in it, but it is a free. A little bit just, maybe over anxious. Just have been introduced as a sub there, but two possessions there.
Yeah, it's also that, look, a little bit of cynicism that we know that Garrycastle have in their game. They've won championships with it, Ray. They understand what's on the line. I said it last week. But look, any club would love a midfielder like Dylan Murtagh, indeed his brother Jack. But Dylan particularly is such an honest, hard worker. He burst a lung to get that kick out. Managed to get the free. He showed himself again for the short free. He's just really honest, and he's up and going again. But Garrycastle will slow the game down in certain areas of the pitch to avoid Milltown getting a quick ball inside, and maybe that was the case there.
Yeah, there's a free one though there, because there's no advantage accruing, and taken across to Matthew Gunningham. He's back now with McGowan again, and this time it's a good crossfield ball, quick ball where Luke Gunning has a chance to take on his man. Goes in and on the right foot, fires it in, umpire signals. That's over the bar. Open score the second half. Comes from the men from Milltown, 6-5. And the breeze is obviously having an effect, Shane, because you can see players now when it's in there 30 yards out or so, they're prepared to take a pot shot.
Yeah, and Brennan does really well with the kick out to get it away to Ganeen. Garrycastle will be glad to get the ball in their hands now. It's very important that they get a proper shot at goal. They've had two wides in this half. They have tried to play it inside, isolate. They're breaking well down the right hand side here.
Yeah, Matthew Gaheen is combining there with Jack Mulvihill. Mulvihill has carried on the run. Lovely play from the number 2. Is he going to back himself? Oh, why not? A lovely score. Did it all himself. He's a quality footballer, Shane. He's a neat and tight little corner back, but good ball handler and got forward that time, and nice little finish.
Yeah, and look, it came from Brennan's kick out. It was a smashing kick out to isolate Ganeen on the right hand side. They moved it really quickly, got the mismatch, 2 running at 1, and a very, very tidy finish.
Yeah. Kick out has gone out here. I thought it was an opportunity for Garrycastle to win a ball there, but Milltown do well to get it back, and Conor Dillon has it now as players then trying to filter their way back, because there's no one in that half of the field at all. But Conor Gibney, good strength from the big number 6. He needs a little bit of support there, but a lovely little flick there from Jack Donoghue, just directed it around the corner there to, I think it was Gary McCallan, and McCallan sweeps it across to this side of the field now, and there's a chance for Jack Mulvihill again. He's encouraged to come forward quickly. 2 players still held inside, and coming out to take it there is Michael Monaghan. Michael back to Mulvihill again, and it goes in now to Gaheen. Gaheen back as far as Rory McGowan, and then through the hands, Mark McCallan, the latest one. Now there's a chance to make ground with Andrew Monaghan. He's about to be closed down by Jack Duncan, taking him on, steps, comes back, has support coming off the shoulder. Michael Monaghan, Michael comes inside, lays the ball back inside. Not the best one in the world, but Jimmy Dolan is alert to it. He picks it up, and Rory McGowan has it now. McGowan spreads it across here where Conor Cosgrove is out in front of his man, tackled hard. Tackled hard the second time and gets the free for his side. And again, good work there from Garrycastle. They were patient, they worked it left, they worked it right. Cosier's shown all his experience there. Just allowed the man to come in. He knew the foul was going to draw the foul, and he does exactly that. And a chance now for Conor Cosier with this free. Suter left for the kicker. Right behind it, straight over the middle of the crossbar.
Yeah, super strike by Conor. Conor made 4 runs that time, Ray. He came out along the wing, he cut back inside, and eventually he got Bert Kieran chasing up his back, and you said he was aware it was coming, and he worked the free, and then to convert it then equally with such a good strike.
7-6, kick out from Alan Garrity's out into the centre. Oh, John Gaffey, great man on the breaking ball. Why not? He'll go in where the others wouldn't even dare go near it, and he wins that ball. And now this time it's fired in, looking for Cosgrave in there again. Cosgrave again, huge experience there. He drew that free. He knew it wasn't maybe the favourite to get in, but did enough there to convince the referee that there was a foul on it there, and a chance now for Garrycastle.
Yeah, Bernard's going to have to be careful. That's twice now he's after foul in quick succession. I think Garrycastle have identified this. I think Tom Brown was talking about it earlier in the run-up to the game about bringing James Sheeran in, but they've decided that they'll isolate a couple of the inside backline from Milltown, and they're really testing their mettle now. And I'd imagine that Kieran might be getting a card here. He's definitely getting a talking.
Yes, and he's getting a yellow card for his trouble. Good call, Shane. And the ball is in the hand over there of Michael Monaghan. 41 minutes on the clock. Michael taking duties from the right side. Conor Cosgrave has been on them from the left, and he makes no mistake.
Yeah, from Gunning kicking a lovely score from Milltown to go a point up. They're suddenly 2 down. It just shows that experience of Garrycastle and their ability to press a team and ask questions of them. And this kick out is huge now, I think, for Milltown, Ray.
Yeah, it's very tight. Looks like they're going to go straight down the middle of it, and that, I think that suits Garrycastle as much as anything. To go to the sideline of a referee. I think he's just calling for a little bit of calm there. An injury there to Owen Mulvihill. There was big men jumping in around there, and Mulvihill has gone to ground and say got a knee in the back for his trouble. He's gone to ground now. They won't want to lose him. He certainly looks like he's in a bit of bother, but Alan Coyne blew the whistle fairly quickly and going to throw the ball up.
Yeah, this direct kick down the middle. Now, unless Dylan or Jack Murtagh catch it clean, it is in favour of Garrycastle. They're very, very strong on the breaking ball. They're in around it. They're asking Monaghan to compete in the air, make sure neither of the Murtaghs catch it clean, and the boys are in. We saw John Gaffey get the previous one. So I think that if Milltown play it to the wing, like you said, and they make it a chase, the Milltown midfielders are more athletic than the Garrycastle midfielders, and would expect to get a benefit there.
It was Matthew it was Matthew Gaheen who actually was injured there, when the referee threw the ball out. It broke down. I think it was touched on the ground then, and possession back with Milltown, and they've taken the free quickly with Conor Dillon coming down that right hand side. Then puts on the afterburns. He sees a little bit of space inside, pops it off quickly to Luke Gunnan back to McGowan under pressure as the dive attempt was coming in, but Sean Brennan has got to be careful in here, and he does well. And the referee said that the foul actually was on the goalkeeper in there. It's Jack Duncan, the man that was in under the... No, it's not Jack Duncan. We see the Milltown man that's in there under that drop. I think it might be Matthew Gunning that was in there with the goalkeeper, but Sean Brennan had his angles right. He knew that one was going to go. In fact, it's Peter Bannister, I think it is, just looking at the replay, the number 5 that's gone in there, and referee Alan Coyne is having a word with him. He's complaining and saying that he only had eyes for the ball, but it looks like he's going to get a yellow card for his troubles.
I think he was entitled to challenge for it. Look, yeah, Brennan showed his experience. He set his feet, he turned his back into the player that was watching the ball in the air, but he came out the worst of it here, Ray.
Yeah, Wayne Smith, wearing the number 17, is about to be introduced here in place of Luke Gunning.
Yeah, Wayne came on the last day, Ray. Very speedy operator. Tidy on the ball when he gets it. Will get through a lot of work. And in fairness, both Gunnings have been asked to do a sweeping job, although they're lined out at corner forward and join up with the attack as well. So I'd imagine, Luke has an awful lot of mileage clocked up over the last 2 days. It wouldn't be based on performance. It's more something that we need to keep that energy up and bring in fresh legs.
Yeah, we're only for Garrycastle. Goalkeeper Sean Brennan is still down as on camera there. We see the Milltown management there of Pete Ballisley and Sean Loughlin, and certainly they won't be happy how things have gone. Certainly in the last 4 or 5 minutes, from being 1 ahead and looking in a good position. Garrycastle responded with 3 good scores now to go. You know, a 2-point lead. I know it's not a huge big lead, but it's in the context of how tight this game has been, it's a big enough lead.
Oh yeah, it's significant. You know, it's going to take 3 scores or a major to get Milltown back in front, and that's not conceding anything the other end. Garrycastle are brilliant at game management. I'm not convinced how injured Brennan was there, but there's the sting going out with Milltown again, and they get another brilliant kick away from that free, and Garrycastle are on the attack again, Ray.
Yeah, Owen Mulvihill did very well and let it just bounce into him and got his body in a position that he was able to get away from his opponent as well. Ball given inside now where Nugent comes in, goes down a heavy arm tackle on him there as he's coming. Not sure there was a whole pile in it, but it certainly bought the free anyway. Nugent has gone to ground. The referee Alan Kine is there. He's awarded the free.
And again, Bernard Kiernan guilty of it. Ray coming out and meeting it, but such a slick move. But you know, Brennan's after doing that twice now. He's after relieving the pressure with massive kicks. He is getting attention there again, Ray. So maybe my scepticism was wrong. But a brilliant long-range free from the edge of his
now with the hand as well, which we don't see.
Into a bit of a breeze, release Garrycastle, and look at another very scoreable opportunity here, and they're beginning to put the squeeze on Milltown.
Yeah, Michael Monaghan, I think again seems the man that's on the free taking duty from that right-footed side. He's the number 10. Skies are darkened over there on that far side behind the goal as we look at it, so hopefully we'll avoid the rain for another 15 minutes or so. And Monaghan makes no mistake, he taps that one over the bar.
Yeah, third quarter is just wrapping up, Ray, in terms of game management and what time we're at and where we are, and Garrycastle be really pleased. They're gone 3 points ahead. Milltown haven't been threatening the scoreboard a lot. You know, they've only 6 scores, so as you said, it's a significant lead considering the margins and the conversion rates in the game.
Yeah, there's going to be another sub introduced on here, and I think Milltown have recognised the fact that Bernard Kieran maybe is treading a fine line there, and he's about to be replaced there by Sean Summers wearing the number 21, and I think that's related to the couple of fouls that he committed there as well, taking no chances.
Yeah, and Sean came in last week. Again, we mentioned that, you know, a clever footballer. He's the type of guy to win a free for himself out of nothing. He's tidy on the ball, but Milltown looking a little bit frustrated here, Ray, and Garrycastle can sniff blood. They're keeping the intensity up here. Every challenge is strong.
Yeah, and they stepped in and won that ball. You know, Mark McCann, when he wasn't favoured to get as well, but the ball is given inside now, and there's a chance for Andrew Monaghan as he gets away and pops the ball into old man and runs into his own man, bounces him onto the ground, and now a chance here with the left foot with the finish there. It comes in from Michael Monaghan. Jason Nugent was the man that ran into his own player there, but yeah, we're gone to a 4-point lead now in the space of 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, they're going an awful lot slicker as well, Ray. That's the lifting of the pace, the aggression in the tackle, the tidiness in the pass, and like I said, Milltown are panicking a little bit, and there's a ball. If he can't keep it, he needs to play it very, very well.
That would have been so destroying down. Now there's a chance. They need a score. Rory McGowan is trying to get back. He does well. There's a couple of players gone to ground inside towards the 20-metre line, but players back out here now with Conor Dillon. Dillon trying to get a little bit of room to go on, and then has a runner coming in over the top, and it's Matthew Gunning, and Matthew, the space opens up in front of him. He's going to take the shot on, fires it in. It's gone wide. I thought there might have been a deflection on that there. I thought it might have been a 45, but umpire is closest to it. He signals gone to the right and wide.
Yeah, and Milltown on that occasion got Dylan Murtagh. We saw it last week as well. On occasion, they'll get one of the Murtaghs to go inside on a mismatch inside, but Conor Dillon hadn't enough space to get the head up to drive in the long ball, and then Matthew obviously just pushed his effort just right at the post.
Andrew Monaghan does great work over there to get that kick out and get the mark and move it on to Gaffey. Gaffey all in now, looking for Jason Nugent, where exactly Nugent leads it, and a little bit of space, but he runs into a heavy tackle. He goes to ground, but Jimmy Dolan is over there offering support, and then reckless challenge from Conor Gibney there. No one complaints at all. They're just lunged in on the number 5 there as he had the possession, and you know, this is game management as well. It's suiting Garrycastle. They'll run the clock down, and we're into the last 11 minutes or so, and there's going to be another free here and a chance for Michael Monaghan as another sub is about to be introduced here. Patrick Summers, again another man that was introduced in the drawing game. Shane making his way in.
Yeah, another quality footballer, long-term serving with Milltown, Ray. He was county calibre type of footballer in his younger days. suffered a couple of bad knee injuries recently, and see it's heavily strapped. But what Milltown need are cooler heads on the pitch at the moment. They're actually panicking, and they don't need to. They're not. Everything's a little bit rash. The tackle's a little bit lazy. The pass is a little inaccurate. The crowd, of course, getting very excited. They feel the pressure in the place. But Garrycastle sniff blood at the moment, and they're really capitalising on every opportunity they get.
Yeah, and it's a chance now for Michael Monaghan. It's the most difficult of his frees from that side of the pitch, but he curls it in, and the roar of the crowd from the far side will tell you that's bang on target. Peter Ballasy was the man to replace, but as the clock heads towards 50 minutes, lead gone out now to 5, 11 points to 5.
Yeah, not only that, it's almost double scores. It's not. The 5 points mightn't be much in a hurling game or a high-scoring football match, but it's almost double scores now.
Yeah, and Matthew Gaheen did brilliant work there to catch the kick out and get a mark. He moved it on as far as Cosgrove, but Cosgrove was trying to get Jimmy Dolan in space, coming across from the left to the right, but unfortunately ball skids off the ground and gone out over the end line and a kick out, and Alan Geraghty is out there ready to take it. Going over that far side. Up they go into the air, ball broken down. Who's on the breaking ball? It's Wayne Smith. Smith back to McGorn. McGorn moves it on here now. There's a chance now for Conor Dillon. He's the man exactly the day we need on this possession. No one, only one player in front of him. John Gaffney's trying to take him on. It's a mismatch, and when it comes to pace, Dillon has it again. He fired across. Oh, there's a forward on the back. There's one of the Murtaghs over there. I think it was a Dylan Burton on the back post, and he was caught totally flat-footed as that ball flashed across. But that was an opportunity that Milltown needed. It was a mismatch of pace between Conor Dillon and John Gaffey. Got away. Dillon did well, got away, fired it across. And there was a chance of a goal there. And
there certainly was. They're going to need something like that, Ray.
Yeah, and you see the experience there of Michael Monaghan as that ball was hanging in the air. He just gets a little hand on it, knocks it down, and it's gathered very well there by Eoin Mulvihill. And now it's with Rory McGowan. McGowan taking on his man. He has Cosgrove in there if he needs him. Cosgrove comes around on the loop, turns around, gets a shot in, but again, a little bit hurriedly. He was probably in fear of being blocked down, has to snatch at it a little bit, and he just tugged it to the right and wide.
Yeah, Milltown won their last kick out. Wayne Smith picking up a break, but I do think Alan Geraghty has to vary this a little bit, Ray. It's playing into Garrycastle's hands, this launching the ball down the middle and breaking it.
Yeah, Milltown have the breaking ball one this time. Sean Dillon fouled there by Jimmy Dolan, just around the 45-metre line there, back in the Milltown half of the pitch, and just gets up, takes it quickly, gets it across now to Patrick Summers. They need to get this game moving. 52 gone on the clock. 11 points to 6 in favour of the Garrycastle men as Matthew Gunning has the possession. Then Matthew tries to get a ball down here towards Ben McGorn. McGorn is in a little bit of space here. He'll keep it in play. He's about a metre in from the sideline as he lifts the ball, about to be shut down, and then pops a nice little ball in over the top where Wayne Smith is on it. Smith jinks, comes back in on the right foot. It doesn't get great connection, but it might still work out because it's in the air, and Murtagh goes high. There's a chance. Ball is pulled on. It's gone to the right and wide. No, I thought there was a score in it at least there.
Yeah, and if you wanted the ball to drop in a half volley to anybody in the Milltown team, it'd be Dara Hines, very accomplished soccer player that just missed it high and right at the top corner. But Ben McGurn did well. Wayne Smith did very well. It was probably a speculative shot, but Dylan Murtagh on the edge of the square got up really high. And that could be a danger that they might be able to take advantage of.
Yeah, another super kick out there. Michael Monaghan was hit into space. Monaghan took it on the run, gets the mark and gives it on now to Rory McGowan. McGowan gives it inside. Her own Monaghan has come out a little bit from the inside line with the inside of the right foot. He gives it back here to Michael Monaghan. Monaghan comes inside, pops in. Two Monaghan brothers combining, a chance here now of another score. This one is fired and he has gone to the right and wide. That was an opportunity, probably of a clinching score there, really. That was a great opportunity. The number 15 is Ben Dunnigan. He's coming in. He's going to replace John Gaffey. I think John Gaffey and the mentors down there realised that Gaffey was isolated there down this side by Conor Dillon and, was burnt for pace. So
we've put in a massive shift, Ray. He was on the ball an awful lot in the first half when Garrycastle needed an outlet and they were setting up.
I see the changes being made. Gaffey is coming off and Jimmy Dolan has been pulled back into the half back line. It looks like he's around the middle of the field. I think it might be Eoin Mulvihill that's dropping back to pick up one of the Murtaghs who's gone into the inside line. But John Gaffey, what a servant for his team and his club. As the kick out is gathered by Matthew Gunning, got the mark, gets fouled as well, so it's a free, and it's a free for Milltown again. Need to up the ante. 54 on the clock. no one inside, only 2 players inside, on front of the goals, down at that other end of the field. But Milltown won't panic. Goal would do wonders for this game, though. As the ball is fired in by Dylan Murtagh, it's hanging inside. 2 men inside, but again, ball breaks, and great sweep in there by Jack Mulvihill as the ball broke into space, and they have it again, almost intercepted as they're coming out, but they have the possession with Matthew Gaheen. Gaheen fouled back there, and going to be a free out. And again, this is all suiting the Garrycastle men. The clock is ticking away all the time. We're almost into the 55th to the 56 minutes, 54 and 45 seconds gone. Sean Brennan has the ball back there on his own 20-metre line. Works it out a little bit slowly now. They do get it out eventually. Owen Monaghan, he was in the corner forward position for most of the game. He's now back in his own full back line. Jason Nugent has it. Nugent steps inside, gives it on to Gary McCallan. McCallan to Nugent, and Clare then going forward, then just lost the flight of the ball there to Jack Mulvihill, and one back there for Milltown. And they have a chance to come forward now. Thomas Lynn was the man over there, and Conor Gibney, little ball inside. Jimmy Dolan comes forward, gets the tackle in, gets the foul in, free for Milltown, free foul against Dara Hines. Hines looks up, there's 2 players to his left. He takes it over here, put Sean Dillon under pressure, and they'll give enough chance now for Ben Dunnigan to capitalise on this. Dunnigan still going, he's looking around him, should get a call to stay going and finish it. And then, just as he was coming in, he thought he was forward. My God, Shane Dunnigan, no conviction at all on that attack.
I think he went,
just fired it over the bar.
I think he went to hand pass it over, and Sean Dillon just happened to grab his wrist as he was swinging back and got away with it. It looked a little bit like, but Sean worked his socks off after turning the ball over himself with a sloppy hand pass.
Yeah, and then Conor Dillon out here gets fouled by James Dolan. The ball has gone in route 1. It's going to break inside, but Sean Brennan is nice and cool and calm. It breaks kindly for him. But Garrycastle have the possession here now. Michael Monaghan, what's the clock say? 56 and 16 seconds. Donegan has a chance again to come forward. Needs to hold it because there's 2 men up front and they're being marked closely. Turns around, gives it inside to Rory McGowan. McGowan holds the possession, cross into the centre, needs a little bit of help here now, and then throws the ball back to no one in particular, but he had to because he was about to be pulled for overcarrying. Garrycastle men sitting back. Milltown have a chance now to come forward. Dara Hines has it again. Pass is coming off to the left where Jack Duncan has it. Duncan trying to find the big man inside. It's route 1 ball, but Garrycastle have enough numbers in there. Jack Donoghue, who's been outstanding all through the game, is in there. He has a little bit of support in front of him as well. Jimmy Dolan, using all his experience, he's back in there as well. And Jason Nugent just holds the ball. Again, 2 Milltown men around him, but he does very well just to put it back and put it in the chest of Owen Mulvihill. Mulvihill holds it up again, and Michael Monaghan is available here. Owen is running forward here to help him, just to try and add the numbers to it, and then just draws in the man and pops it off hand nice and easily to Owen Monaghan. He goes across now to Dunnigan. Dunnigan goes right, comes back onto his left and back to Owen Monaghan. Monaghan not in any hurry to take on the shot. They'll use all their experience. Jimmy Dolan involved now when they really need him just to settle things down. He's come out, utilised very well, and Jack Mulvihill has it again. Jack just holds the ball, gives it on now to Jason Nugent. Nugent is over on that far side, about to be tackled here. He's going to take on his man, and he has the pace to get away from it. He's still going, carrying it forward, and a lovely ball inside now, and the opportunity of the score coming again, and that's fired over the bar. Brilliant score. Owen Mulvihill, he's been excellent throughout the campaign for Garrycastle. Got on the end, there's another sub coming in. Ben McGorn has been replaced down here on our left hand side.
I think it's Paul Mahan that's gone in there, Ray, for
trying
Ben.
to see the number here.
Look, Garrycastle have probably, they've shown that bit of experience, that extra bit of quality today. They've constructed their scores really well, Ray, in this second half. The areas they're kicking from, the handling and the niche passes, the off the shoulder, around the corner type of hand passes that have worked. But if you look at Owen Mulvihill, Michael and Owen Monaghan, they've been 3 massive players for Garrycastle today. They really stood up. They won ball when it was badly needed. They were outlets, they were hard runners, and they were extremely accurate in everything that they've done.
Yeah, Mulvihill won that kick out and gave it on there to Michael Monaghan, who's also been excellent. Now it's with Nugent, and I guess as an old say, when you're asking them goal, it's in falling. Nugent leaning back with the outside of the right foot, got it inside the post. We see John Gaffey coming back in just to use his experience, I'm sure, to sit in there in the back line. The clock has gone over 59 minutes. It's 13 points. It's a 3-score game. At this stage, it's a long way back for Milltown. Owen Mulvihan, I think it is, sacrificing him, taking him off, because Gaffey has gone back in there to use his experience in there, on front of the D there, giving support there to Jack Donoghue. But Alan Garrity has us on the way here now, and it's hanging and gathered there by Thomas Lane. Thomas looks around, need to get it down the other end of the field as quick as they possibly can. They need scores and they need them quickly. Matthew Gunning, short little pass on there as far as Dylan Murtagh. Murtagh looks around, and then it's going to go route one where it's 2 against 1, and the Garrycastle men, they get a hand in there. It's gone out off the hand of the Milltown man there, Paul Mahan, wearing the number 23. He was introduced, but it went off his hand and it's gone out over the sideline, over on the far side of the field, as we wait for the signal for what additional time is going to be used as a sub. Cathal Mannion is due to start. It looks like he's going to be introduced, but not just yet. No word on what the extra time is, and then ball comes inside, and silly tackle there by Sean Summers, because again this will just run the clock down. Garrycastle will take all the time in the world there. It is Conor Cosgrave that's going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Cathal Mannion, like for like in there. Mannion just hang around out here now, make himself available as Cosgrave makes his way off.
Yeah, and all of this is just managing the clock now from a Garrycastle perspective. They're not looking to get any more
5 minutes of the additional time.
They're looking to run the clock down. Every little chance they get to take a sting out of the game, they'll bring in a sub, they'll introduce or interrupt a kick out, bring in fresh legs. John Gaffey gone back. They're just shut up house now. They'd see it as, although 5 minutes, significant amount of time, but Milltown don't look to have this penetration, and they've gone very rudimentary their last couple of attacks, Ray, with long rangy balls in and high on top of the big man inside, but there's nobody around them to sweep up any kind of break at all.
Yeah, and there's a lot of men that they need up front or out here around the middle third of the field, and you know, like you say, Garrycastle will slow it down there. They won't mind giving fouls there, and you know, gives them time to filter back in. You can see them even getting the seal, get men back here. Yellow card I think issued there, was it Gary McCann that got that one, but the free is taken here, and Diarmuid Maguire is coming forward, looks around and pops it back there as far as Matthew Gunning, and Matthew with the right foot, it is hitting home. There's a lot of big men in there, the ball is breaking down. It's maybe a chance here for Conor Gibney as he turned, and Sean Brennan had to be vigilant there at the butt of his post there. He did well, dropped on it and got it out for a 45.
Yeah, and as Roy Keane would say, that's his job. He was there at the post. He got down low, he nudged it out for a 45, and again the danger has been averted by Garrycastle here. If they concede a point, again, people lying on the ground, the time has been run down, interrupt the rhythm of the game as much as they can. Like I said, they have the job done now, they just have to see it out. But if they concede a point from a 45, it's not going to damage them in any bit. So danger averted by Sean Brennan. He's been through the wars between taking tackles into the back and hitting the post with his legs, but he'll be very happy to be returning his club to the senior ranks for 2025 with the looks of things. Ray.
Jerry Heenan has just been introduced to the field, replacing Jason Nugent. There's a bit of treatment in there for one of the Garrycastle defenders there, getting treatment in, and this game won't finish a minute too soon because the old dreaded rain seems to be coming across here for the last few minutes or so. But I think Garrycastle man is back on his feet in there. Conor Dillon is standing on the 45, goes short with the kick out. Ben Donegan has to try and close down. Ball inside, it's fisted down inside, it's broken down, but there's a red jersey under it, and not cleared the very best, and the danger is still there for Garrycastle. Milltown have it here, but again, no way through there. As they'll give up the free there, and they'll pack the numbers back there. There's only one player from Garrycastle up on this other half of the field. The free is going to be taken from Milltown. They're going to have to just pop it in there and hope maybe Conor Gibney or one of the Murtaghs maybe get a fist to it and get it into the net. Well, it's kicked in high this time, up for the point.
We won't see Sean Brennan rushing this kick out at all, Ray. He's saltering over to get a ball. I'm sure he'll take the same pace out as far as the 20-metre line before he places it. You could see it falling off the tee now in a second, I'd imagine. Alan Kyne's asked him to hurry things up, but look, Sean is very experienced. He knows well he doesn't have to do anything here.
Yeah. Fires it out right foot, good kick it is, so it has a man here, yeah, a little nudge in the back, maybe a little bit harsh on Cathal Mannion, but the free is taken possession here now with Milltown as they come again. They'll three battling on to the very end. They have it here now with Paul Mahan. Mahan goes across into the centre where the cornerback is Sean Dillon. Dillon tackled by Ben Donegan, bought the free, I would say, but he has it, and Conor Dillon has it. Dillon has to fire this in quickly. It's hanging in, there's 2 against 1 in there, and a push there by the big man inside there, in the frustration there, because Garrycastle had him pretty well covered, and the ball goes off the Milltown man's hands. It went out over the end line and wide, but again it'll just run it down. Sean Brennan, all his experience, he won't wait for anyone to get the ball from him. He'll just go out and get it, and he'll be ready to take this free. The ball, this free will be back just inside their own 13-metre line. Again, go short with it, and they'll build it out of the corner. Jack Mulvihill, the number 2, he's excellent all through this game. Got a point for his side as well, coming forward in that second half. And they have it here now with Mannion. Mannion back to Mulvihill again. Quick hands now. Big hit there on the Garrycastle substitute. Cathal Mannion introduced there, but Mannion gets up.
A bit of a cheap shot, as we said last week when it happened in the reverse, but Sean Summers lined him up there and nailed him. It's no advantage to Milltown to do that. It's Garrycastle be quite happy, like you said. This game is running out of time. They're just controlling things at the moment.
Yeah, Jimmy Donald has the free taken on here to Michael Monaghan. The clock has gone half a minute over the 5 that was called for as they go again, and a chance for Monaghan. He was been absolutely been excellent all through this game, but he won't get an opportunity here because Milltown have snuffed this one out. But the referee, Alan Coyne, has blown the full-time whistle, and it is victory for the men from Garrycastle in this Shay Murtagh Intermediate Football Championship final replay. And I suppose they won it 13 points to 6. 13-7, my mistake. But Shane, I think it's fair to say, job done for as far as Garrycastle are concerned. Their aim was, when they dropped down last year, was to make the immediate return, and they've done that. They made to work hard for it in the last couple of games, but they showed all their experience and they got over the line.
Yeah, they were really quality today. I wouldn't like to be disingenuous to Milltown, but it was kind of a 6-point hammering in the end. Ray, they were quite the better side. Milltown became very, very predictable for the last 15 minutes, and that long ball on the edge of the square didn't pay any dividends. Mentioned that Garrycastle controlled the third quarter, really put the squeeze on. The big players stood up, they got their hands on the ball, like I said, they were very, very accurate, and they constructed some excellent scores. They'll be very, very pleased, Garrycastle, to be returning to senior ranks. And look, Milltown will gain a lot from the last couple of days out in the season that they've had. I think that's the first game they've lost in the championship. It'll be devastating for them. I have a lot of friends over there, worked with that group for a season about 3 years ago, and you can see the quality that's there, and they're such an honest group. But they'll be back. Intermediate has a force next year as well. They'll get a lot of experience. I've seen it with my own club at Milltown Pass. Getting to a final is one thing. Getting across the line is so difficult. But a good encounter the first day in testing conditions, a little bit lopsided in the second half today.
Yeah, so it's congratulations to Garrycastle. They are champions for 2024. Back to the senior ranks. Leinster campaign maybe to start now as well, but I'm sure they're not thinking of that now because they're just delighted to be going home with the trophy here today. From Shane and myself, I want to thank him for joining me here on co-commentary here today. We're high up here above Homestead Lakeland Park. We're going to say goodbye from them. We're going to take an ad break, but we'll be back with some more analysis with the lads in a couple of minutes.
Well, Garrycastle are the Shay Murtagh Intermediate Football Champions for 2024. Lads, a fully deserved win for Garrycastle.
Yeah, definitely. What they did there in the second half in particular, they were awesome. I think it was 25 minutes, Milltown hadn't scored in that second half. That's not going to win you any final as such. I thought the two Monaghans were just unbelievable there. and Owen Vita on the midfield of Storm with the second half, you know. But no, by far the best team won today.
Shane mentioned in commentary that bit of experience that Garrycastle have. If you could see the panic in Milltown there about 15 minutes ago when there was time in the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and they were sort of trying to lorry ball in on top of a 3-on-1 situation with one of the big Murtaghs was always in there, and it just wasn't working, and they continued to do it. And in fairness to Garrycastle, they did exactly what we were saying at half time, that what Milltown should have done, is try and get quick early ball inside. They put in Owen Monaghan went in full forward, and he won a world of ball in the first 10 minutes. And Conor Cosgrove was outstanding again, like the old dog for the hard road is what to say, and that came up trumps today.
Lads, I think we're going to go over to the presentation. Frank Mescal is on the podium there to present the Garrity Cup to the Garrycastle captain, Jack Donoghue, I think. So we'll go over to Frank.
My first words normally would be to the two teams, but today I have to give that honour to the St. Lomans Club for making their pitch available that we could play this final. Cusick Park, TEG Cusick Park has taken quite a battering over the weekend and over the last number of weekends. Maybe 5-6 games played there every weekend. But brilliant to get such fantastic pitch here today and the facilities. And I'm sure the big crowd that came out really enjoyed it. So thank you very much, St. Lomans GAA Club. Now to the two teams. Your second day to meet, a windy day and a lovely fine day for good football. And thanks for the support, the entertainment you have given us to the two teams. Well done. To Milltown, sadly, today is not your day, but over the last 2 or 3 years, you have made fantastic progress. To reach the intermediate final is a huge step forward. You have fantastic young players, brilliant young players, so keep it going, and I have no doubt you will be rewarded. And you have good people in charge of you and fine facilities there. Today in the second half, Garrycastle pulled away. Their experience showed the old dog for the hard road. Maybe they weren't as good on the first game, but they really showed it today in the second half, all that experience. Congratulations, Garrycastle. Well done. I just want to thank 2 referees. I want to thank Enda Kenny and his team who reffed the drawing game. I want to thank Alan Kine and his team of officials for the great work they did today. Now, I'm going to go on to the presentation. I'm joined here, I'll call it the podium, I'm joined here by Eddie Garrity, because we're going to present the Peter Garrity Cup Great Ballymore GAA family. Eddie will join me for the presentation, and I'm going to hand it over to a fine young man, one Jack Donoghue, on behalf of the Garrycastle team. Jack is not going to accept the cup till the Garrycastle team come over. So, urgent shout out to the Garrycastle team. Come on over here. John Gaffey is leading the Garrycastle charge there, I see. So would the other team join John?
Lads, we were waiting for the Garrycastle crowd to get over to the podium there. I don't know if they can hear or they're just so elated over there that they're not moving. But going back to today's game, it really, we finished off there, it really came down to, I think, in the end, a more experienced, seasoned team beating inexperienced team. Would that be correct?
Yeah, well, all credit to Milltown. Like, this is their first defeat all year, okay? They might have got wrong in the final there. They panicked a little bit in the second half there. Garrycastle used all their experience. They kept their depth inside, gave the ball into Owen Monaghan, and then Conor Cosgrove. Michael Monaghan had 4 points there in the second half. I know they were from frees, but there was a lot of ball going in quick, and they were getting a lot of success off the offshoot. Like Jason Nugent got a point, but he got fouled for another free that went over the bar. Milltown, I'd be very disappointed with kind of Milltown's performance, and they didn't change it a little bit, but they will not get anything from only experience from this game. Like, they're a very, very balanced team. They're a very good side. They'll be back next year for the intermediate title, but I think we all thought Garrycastle would win at the start of the year. It's not easy to go down and then come up straight away into winning the intermediate title. They've done that now, and they'll be a force in senior next year.
Absolutely. They're a very well organised team, Alan, Garrycastle.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, they brought the management team back that they had. We brought Gary back and Carl Henson and Doran Hart back, three very seasoned campaigners themselves, and lads that know and love the club no more than anyone else, or no less than anyone else. So they're three great men to have over them, and I'm sure Desi and a couple of other lads are probably helping out in the background as well. So an experienced management team to go along with a very experienced team. They're obviously going to have to bring some of them younger lads through again next year. You can't be expecting lads to go on forever, and the likes of John Gaffey and Conor Cosgrove and the Monahans and these lads and Mark McCallan. They're around a long time now, these lads, and Gary McCallan as well. But listen, they're a great bunch of lads. It's very easy last year when they got relegated.
Now we're going to go over to the podium for the presentation.
Thank you. Right, I won't keep you long, boys. It's a Monday. I'm sure you have elsewhere to be on a bank holiday Monday. Listen, no, thank for the fourth officials, referees, Alan and his team. Thanks very much. Did a great job. Milltown lads, honest to God, what 4 games this year and 4 battles. You're a great team, honest to God. There's nothing I could say here now that's going to make you feel any better, but like, there were some battles, and you're a great team, and you're an honour to your community and parish. So honestly, a round of applause for Milltown lads. To all the backroom staff, Doran, Franco, Gary, Eamon, Shay, Vinny, who else am I missing? Carl Henson, sorry. And all the backroom team, boys, honestly unbelievable. Like, you're the backbone of us. Like, you know, you're there hours before we are there. We couldn't do it without you, so we're so grateful for everything you've done for us and everything you've done. So thank you very much. A special word to our chairwoman, Trish. Brilliant, boys. Honest to God, you're one in a million. You've advocated for us so much this year. Everything we wanted, you got us, and you fought for us. So honestly, thank you very much, Trish, from the bottom of our heart. You're amazing. Thank you. The players, fair play to you lads. What can I say? Honest to God, thank you very much. You were there from 15th of December last year when we met up, and we made a plan. And this, you know, first was to win the league, and the second was to get back up to senior, and we stuck to that. And that was from all the work that we've done and you put in, and the sacrifice that we all made. So big round of applause for everyone. And finally, it's a sad day. A great clubman and the Foxes, Tommy Fox. Commiserations to the Fox family, and I really hope that this can give them a small, brief, you know, distraction today. Not like it's so hard for the family, and we're all behind you, and we're all thinking about you. So thank you so much. Yeah, I leave it at that. Thank you.
That's Jack Donoghue receiving the Garrity Cup from Chairman Frank Meskel, and congratulations once again to Garrycastle. Lads, we're just having a chat there. Man of the match for your VTV, who have you gone for?
We've all gone for different players. Personally, for me, I thought Owen Monaghan was excellent throughout. Sorry, Michael, number 10. Number 10 was Michael. Sorry, Michael Monaghan. I thought was very good. He scored 4 points in the second half. There, he was involved with a lot of good things, driving them forward, getting the ball inside to the lads. But Owen Mulvihill was very good midfield too. To battle against two Murtaghs like that for 2 weeks wasn't easy, and he really showed up on both days for me as well. But I give it to Michael personally, but the lads are all different, of course.
I thought Conor Cosgrove scored 5 out of 6 points in first half and scored another 2 or 3 in the second half. And if he wasn't playing in the first half, they could have been well down at half time. So just as I was saying, just before we got cut off there earlier was.
You've muted the mic again there, Helen.
I went for Conor Cosgrove. I was just saying that just before we got knocked off here, it's very easy for a lot of them experienced players, the Monaghans, Conor Cosgrove, the McCallans, James Dolan, well, not so much James, I suppose, but John Gaffey, these guys, they could all step away. They've done their bit for Garrycastle Club, but when they got knocked down to intermediate last year, they all stood up to the plate, and they're the reason they're bringing championship back home again this evening.
Yeah, and just to go back on that, Tom, only for those guys, you know what I mean, that went back, put the heads down to get Garrycastle back playing senior football, and they succeeded.
Yeah, that's what the club is all about. Lads getting behind the wheel when things are down and pushing them on. And the bench there, I always remember Carl Henson when he was playing football, he had nothing but steel in him. And I remember talking to him last year after they got relegated, and he said, we were just missing a little bit of steel. He got back involved, and they got that little bit of steel in the second half to push them over the line. I agree with the boys, with all their players. In a couple of weeks' time, we will be on the podcast naming teams of the year and teams of the year. But who I'd go for is Owen Mulvihill there. I thought he was quietly went about his business, and then in the last 20 minutes of the game, he took over there as regards getting on top of the two Murtaghs, who are fantastic footballers. But I'd go with Owen Mulvihill, but you could pick anyone from the Garrycastle team today. I thought collectively they were very good.
Yeah.
Stuff. Lads, I think we'll leave it there for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with the senior hurling final, back with Ray and Paul. To the three lads, to Ray and Shane, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.